Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode in our mental health series. I am Captain Kokomo, and I'm glad to have you with me today. Today we are talking about how to make yourself bully-proof. Bullies come in different shapes and sizes, from the little man with the big fella syndrome who wants to feel bigger than he is, to that big woman who is lashing out and trying to tear down all those women that she feels that she will probably never look like. I have come across bullies of every age that have had different reasons for doing what they do. From daycare and primary school bullies who were most likely mimicking behavior that they learnt and had experienced at home, then in primary school where they started to gain an understanding of what they were doing to me, and they started to enjoy it. You could see it on their face. The smile they got when they got a reaction out of me, you could see they were starting to enjoy that. And that's when their first sense of power came from. And then it was high school. Australia doesn't have middle school, by the way. What is middle school? Why bother? Seriously. That's when the pain and mental torment really started hitting its highs in creativity for me. That's when things really started to ramp up because my own hormones inside me were going rampant due to puberty. And also the bullies were getting bigger and their own puberty was hitting them, and it just turned into an absolute mess. But that's not to lessen the impact it had on any of us. But it didn't even stop at high school. In my working life, I ran into people who hadn't learnt to grow up, and they would never really matured, and they still found enjoyment in belittling people and trying to make them feel like crap. Bullies are not cookie cutter copies of each other. And I don't think we should be treating them all the same way. That, in all honesty, is a mistake. They're exactly like you and me. They have their own issues, just like you and me. I have come across more than my fair share of bullies in the past. From what I explained, when I was younger, I got targeted for many different reasons. Most of them really probably petty and stupid reasons that should never have become an issue. However, due to my extreme lack of self-esteem, and I was probably a little eccentric because of my ADHD, and I learned that I got diagnosed with mild autism as well. That's a whole completely different subject that I won't go into right now. But it wasn't hard for people to make fun of something about me. Like I said in my initial video, once you start bullying yourself, you start to wear that around your neck like an anchor, and people can see it. They can see that imaginary weight that you're dragging behind you. It's up to you to carry yourself with enough confidence that you can hide that weight and nobody can see it. Don't start getting stressed out already. No one is expecting you to have that confidence overnight. So take a deep breath and relax. Just let it all go right now. Not many people know how to or are even capable of doing something like that, like showing that confidence straight away. But if you want to start your road to being bully-proof, it starts right now. This breath you're taking right now, this is where you decide that you don't want to be a target of bullies anymore. Now, don't get me wrong. Just because that's what you decide, that's because you decide that that's how you want your life to be right now, doesn't mean the bullies know that. They're going to keep trying to take you down a peg. But they will only try. As long as you can control how you feel, they can only try. Sun Tzu said it best. If you know the enemy and you know yourself, You need not fear the result of 100 battles. This is the first step to becoming bully-proof. That's understanding your enemy. Well, I don't like calling them your enemy because they are often victims of circumstance themselves. But understanding the bullies. When you understand the bullies, you will know how to take that deep breath, stand tall, stay calm when the bully's sights fall on you. So why do they do what they do? What makes them want to lash out externally instead of looking inside them for that strength? Instead of trying to take that strength from somebody else? Well, there could be 1,000 reasons. Most of those reasons generally boil down to a very broad few reasons that encompass the rest. So don't worry, you don't have to study Sun Tzu's Art of War or psychoanalyze them to win, although reading Sun Tzu's Art of War probably wouldn't hurt your situation, and in fact it'd probably give you some pretty good insights. So if you are a parent that is trying to watch this video, we'll start with the first level of bullying. So if you're a parent trying to watch this video, trying to understand the bully that is harassing your child, it's quite often the child's home life that is molded them into the aggressive little short-tempered monster that they are. That's not really fair. I shouldn't call them a monster. They're often a victim of circumstance and is more likely acting on the only thing they know. So their aggression or lack of empathy for their victims is probably learned at home. Parents who don't listen to their child or don't make their child feel valued are going to see that child start to ramp up their behavior to get noticed. Or if this child sees that their parents are the ones that are being aggressive to them or to each other, well, that's learned. They're a victim of circumstance and you can't fix it on ground level. You can't talk to the bully because they're only 4 or 5 years old. You can't talk to them like a real person, understanding everything you're saying. You can talk to the child and make them understand this situation, this initial situation that they are in is not right, but generally their behavior will revert back to the aggressive behavior that they know because that's what they get at home. That's all they know. So the idea would be to gracefully confront the parents. Now, this would involve telling somebody how to raise their child. If you're a parent yourself, you know that that is not an easy thing to do. If somebody has ever tried to tell you how to raise your child, you generally get your back up a little bit because you feel like it's an attack on how you do things. They're criticizing how you are running your life. Well, for those of us who have had any kind of self-esteem issues, that's how it does feel. Don't get me wrong, there are some parents out there that are willing to listen. They've got an open mind and they will take on any advice that they can get. But generally, if they've let their child get to this stage, they are the type of parents that don't like to listen because they don't listen to their child. They have their own way of doing things, and if you try and upset that, you are causing another issue, and they most likely won't listen. The only thing I can recommend is a very passive approach. Maybe get the school or the childcare organization to approach the parents, or even if you think it would work, try and get a group of parents together and approach the bullies' parents together. I know that would be very confrontational to the parents, but if they can see that and you are all being very open and non-aggressive, they can see that that's how many people's lives that their child is affecting. That might be that might help with an offer of help. Get them to notice, bring up the subject. Look, I noticed that your child is having some difficulties with other kids, and I was wondering if you need any help. We can offer this service, things like that. But that is the child bully is a very difficult situation to deal with, because, like I said, the child themselves don't know that there is a problem, because that's all they know. And if they do realize that there is a problem, they are generally acting on the only way that they know how to run their lives. So they're going to be lost anyway. They don't know how to act any differently. But it is extremely important to get this situation under control straight away, because you could prevent that little bully turning into a really big problem, and a problem that could turn into jail or domestic violence or something like that later in life. This is a situation right here that could stop somebody else's life from turning to shit, basically. Now, I know I haven't helped the rest of the categories of bullying in this episode, but I'm going to try and keep these episodes a little bit shorter, because if I ramble too long, the information gets lost. So I will cut this at part 1 of our bullying series, and I will just pick it up next time with the how to deal with primary school bullies and maybe high school bullies as well. And we will get you on the way to being bully proof. If you're watching this video to become bully proof yourself, please stay tuned, because I will help you. I am reaching out my hand. I'm reaching out my arms, ready for a hug. Come and talk to me. I'm on Discord. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. If you need someone to listen, I can help you. Or I can point you in the direction of somebody close to you that can help you. So, in closing, please stay tuned. We'll be putting out another part 2 of the bullying series next coming days. But if you found any value in this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the subscribe button. And please share this video around to anyone who you feel could find any value in it whatsoever. I have been Captain Kokomo. I thank you for joining me, and I will see you on the next video.